Dan the man, what's happening? Welcome. First man on the scene. The great outdoors with Gizmo. What's happening? Good to see you, Gizmo. Unfinished project 777. What's happening? Unfinished. Hey, Tracy. I got out of work today. I swung over to the Hobo Fright and I picked up some more toolbox liner and I got the rest of my top box lined. Lady Dougster, hey, Fox Dude, what's happening? And so I finally got all the liner put in all the drawers, even the top box, even the top part of the toolbox. Lady Dougster hung out with me. She's got a few days vacation. So that was real nice. We sat out in the garage and chatted. And 4th of July was stormy. We had the power knocked out here probably 2 or 3 times over the 4th weekend. So the same night that you guys had all your storms down in Kentucky, you and Eric, we got hit here and it knocked the power out. As a matter of fact, it topped out one of the trees across the road and took out the power. So speaking of that, it also took out, Braden, what's happening? It also took out our Wi-Fi. So I am running without Wi-Fi. So if things act weird tonight, it's because we're only running on cell signal, not Wi-Fi. So be prepared, kiddies. Things could get interesting. I seen the gazebo got pretty mangled. Not cool. Yeah, it was pretty rainy for the 4th. I did zip tie it back together. That's right. What? No duct tape? Come on, no duct tape? Well, we're on the low side of the 5G, so we might be doing all right. Duct tape too. That's right. Down in Ohio, I think it is. Yeah, there's Duck brand tape. DUCK, quack quack. And if you take the right highway, you drive right past the duct tape world headquarters. It's got this humongous sign that says that faces the highway. World headquarters of duct tape, DUCK. Frog tape. I'll tell you what. Whenever some of the staples in my garage, something that I'm never without is 3M tape, 3M masking tape. I'll never buy anything other than 3M masking tape and steel wool. WD-40 or PB Blaster. Those are like the 4 things I always have real close by. Always need that. We also lost a tomato plant. One of our dill stalks is leaning Tower of Pisa. We had the cornfields to the west of my house, a big old 15-foot swath as long as the field, and the field's probably 1/4 mile long, a solid 1/8 mile long. And there was a big swath next to the road that was all blown over. And I noticed today that they propped themselves back up. So I'll bet you Eric's corn stood itself back up. just by the sun. Cheese, Grummet. Oh yeah, zip ties are pretty handy. So yeah, I bought two more rolls of the toolbox liner, and now that I've got, you took me one roll plus a little bit of another to do the snap-on top box. So now I'm going to start doing the lower toolbox drawers. And I really like the uniformity of everything, no longer looking at the rusty bottoms of drawers. So it's starting to look like a civilized person's toolbox. All the stuff in my bottom box was all mismatched and looking janky, and there was 4 or 5 different types of stuff in there, and I'm like, and a lot of it was poorly installed. Some of it's too big and they just kind of folded it under so and shoved it in there, and other stuff is poorly cut and it's too small so it kind of moves around in there. It just zip ties through the metal grommets on the top of our gazebo. Get yourself a big old sewing machine and stitch that puppy up. That's easier said than done. My friend Nancy, when she still was with us, she would sew stuff like that. As a matter of fact, at No Name Nationals, the canvas that you see me sitting under at my camp, that was sewn by my friend Nancy when she was still with us. Right. How's shop truck coming? Slowly. Ma, what's happening? Shop truck is going slow. Right now, I've been working every day on my new toolbox, trying to get moved into that. What if you don't get shop truck done in time? I will not get shop truck done in time. That's not even an option. So no, I will not have shop truck done in time. Would somebody let you use a vehicle to bracket race? As awesome as that would be, I am under the train of thought of if I break it, I fix it. I pay for it. So, and that includes me stuffing it in the wall. So, I'm not really crazy about racing somebody else's iron, just for the sole fact that if I wad that thing up, then I'm on the hook to replace it. So, as much as I like that, I don't want to be responsible for that. So, don't step on my blue suede shoes or I'll be all shook up. Uh-huh. Old Mac is Elvis. I seen a picture. He sent me a picture of him as Elvis, and he's pretty good. Almost made me want to send him a peanut butter and banana and bacon sandwich. Zip ties and duct tape. Yes, sir. Then take Kim's pit bike out. Could you imagine my enormous butt on a pit bike? That thing would get like, I wouldn't even be able to make the thing go like 5 miles an hour. The poor thing would be like, get off me. Yeah, my pit bike needs like an RD350 engine on it. At least a CB750 engine. Yeah, 70 horsepower on a pit bike. That's what I need. That way I can be competitive. Bring an ATV. I have to own one first. I don't own one. And I don't know if they'll allow it on the track or not. And the biggest thing is that at No Name Nationals, 5 mile an hour pit lane speed is strictly enforced. Is it 5 or 10 miles an hour? I think it's 5. It's strictly enforced. Yeah, we had one guy get a little crazy in No Name 24 and decided to go out on a pit bike and really open her up in the parking lot, and they had a talk with him. So yeah, the only place where you can go fast is on the track. Everywhere else, strictly enforced speed limit. An ATV bracket race? Well, you should have thought of that long before now, Braden. And once again, I don't know if they'll allow it on the track. You can walk faster than that. John knows everyone, and you don't want John coming after you. That's right. As a matter of fact, it was Big Bad John himself who came after the person who decided to act a fool. They didn't know. It was the spirit of competition kind of thing. Two guys were kind of dicing it up a little bit, and then he just took off like a streak of crap. So, I mean, we had a talk with him, and everything was cool after that. I mean, the beautiful thing is, if you run a red light with John, he doesn't hold it against you. He just, don't do it again. Hey, Kev, what's happening? I think a drag motorcycle would be sweet. Maybe I'll put myself one together someday. Maybe. But it's got to be a certain one. Not just any drag motorcycle will do. Bracket drag bike racing. Well, seeming that I'd be the only one there bringing a motorcycle, if I built one, then my bracket would be pretty small and I would win it. If I'm the only competition. Kim says she is, hello Kim, by the way. She says she is retired from mini bike racing. Yeah, after a flywheel violently lets loose underneath you, I think I would retire from it also. That could have been catastrophic. Not that I was ever all that into it. Kim did, however, one year she used a small block Chevy oil pump and made a functioning supercharger for her for one of her pit bikes, which I still am pretty impressed by. That was cool. Didn't last very long, but hey, it was the thought that counted, and it made boost. It worked. If we had a drag bike class, I think we could get some people to do it. Yes, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. The bike that I want would have to be shaft drive, and it'd have to be, because not just any motorcycle will do. You can't drag race crotch rockets because they're all RPM and hardly any torque, so they don't launch worth a crap. You need the flywheel was no big deal, but 50 miles an hour on 8-inch wheels is maybe ill-advised. Yes, I agree, because at that height on those 8-inch wheels, you get just a little tickle of the speed wobble and you're going down. Kim raises a very good point. A little bit of speed wobble on one of those short bikes like that, and you could be eating asphalt right now. Kim raises an excellent point. Hi, Faith. Mean Street Mopar, what's happening? It would have worked with bronze bushings and pressurized oiling. It sure would have. It sure would have. Yeah, the bike that I want to use as a drag bike is a Kawasaki KZ 1300. They're shaft drive, they're 130 horsepower factory, they're easy to build up, they make a boatload of torque, they like to be drag raced, and I think that would do pretty good for with my big old tubby butt hanging off of it. Um, First off, I know what you're saying in NOS. You mean NOS, nitrous oxide systems, and like let talk like a real gearhead and just say nitrous, not NOS. I don't know. I've never seen anyone spray a monkey bike yet. But with like a supercharger, I could probably see somebody getting close to 60, 60, 63, 65 miles an hour. I mean, Kim was already looking at close to 50 miles an hour. I don't know what our speed record is on monkey bike, but it's got to be about that. Yeah, about 60, which is screaming fast for that low of a seat height. That's fast. Yeah, you want to ask someone who's put a who got the speed wobble and put them down. Um, Old Ma here, Colleen's son, Damien, he got bit by the asphalt and it wasn't good. He went down fast and hard. He had ouchies, big ouchies. Sounds like a lot of fun. The cool thing is that you won't have a whole bunch of money tied up in that monkey bike either. It's cheap fun. Oh, Mean Street Mopar says I pulled the oil pan off the 318 out of my Diplomat police car. Didn't want to, but I needed to for the windage tray and hardware from it for my W2 318 build. Nice. Kim says about 46 miles an hour, stock flywheel will explode. So yeah, get yourself a billet flywheel. Go Power Sports, baby. They've got a lot of the stuff that you need. Or spend up and buy the what's that? What's that built for racing right out the box motor from Hobo Fright? Ghost. Buy one of the Ghost engines. They're what's the fastest go-kart you guys have ever made? My friend Crazy Charlie used to race some serious go-karts back in the day, and they were running twin Mac 90 chainsaw engines, and actual two chainsaw engines. One drove each wheel, and so it was a lay-down cart. So basically, you laid in it, and your arms set on the gas tanks. There were also armrests, and then it was a lay down cart and it ran on twin Mac 90s, and it was stupid silly fast. Give me the first most random fact you can think of without thinking about it. I mean, okay. Kugel's brewery was bought by a large conglomerate, and the large conglomerate just not that long ago decided to close down the Chippewa Falls brewery. Only were 53 people who work there. And then the Leinenkugel family didn't want the Leinie Lodge and the Leinenkugel Brewery to close down. So they went and talked to the conglomerate and said, we want to buy Leinenkugel's back. And the big conglomerate said, no. So, yeah, pretty cool, huh? I think Pete's Custom does dirt custom late models. Okay. Bad Frog Beer, that's out of Frankenmuth Brewing, which is Frankenmuth, Michigan. Bad Frog Beer went away when the brewery burned down in the late 90s. 318 at 68,000 miles. I used the cheapest oil they could in it. That's too bad. Monkey bike spray sounds kind of like a circus. Yeah, we're not getting summer shandy until January. I drove my buddy's 1600 off-road buggy that's built for short course racing. It was kind of scary and kind of fun, though. Taking that out was kind of sketchy. Yeah, that was pretty shitty. I agree. Only went 60 mph on the 1600 buggy. It's kind of sketchy but fun. You have enough to get yourself a little swirly, but not too squirrely. Well, wasn't Bad Frog owned by Kid Rock or was it Nugent? I think that Kid Rock had his own brand. Kid Rock wasn't even famous when Bad Frog Beer was around. Bad Frog Beer, I was still in high school when Bad Frog Beer hit the scene and then went away. So Kid Rock was didn't get popular until like 99. And I don't know, seeming that old Uncle Ted really isn't much of a drinking man. I don't think no drinking, no drugs, nothing like that. So I don't think that Nugent owned it either. I think it was just owned by whatever German family because Frankenmuth, Michigan is a German town. Like you go there for they do home style. Well, first off, there's Bronner's in Frankenmuth, and it's Christmas 365. You can go there for the most awesome Christmas ornaments, and downtown Frankenmuth is I mean that place is just at Christmas time is just decked out. Um, but it's a big German town. Oh, Jim Waldron owned Bad Frog Beer. Yeah, probably one of the Frankenmuth Brewing. Yeah, there's a bunch of brewers up there, and when and were hops first introduced to beer production in the beginning of beer making? Without hops, you don't have beer. Well, you see, you have like the German the beer purity law from like the 17 from the 1700s, and what it is beer can only be made of these like 7 or 8 ingredients, and then how the ratios are make all sorts of different beers. And like IPA beer, the reason why IPA beer is so IPA, so strong tasting, it has that distinct flavor, is they purposely overhop the beer because the beer was either made in England and sent to India, or it was made in India and sent to England, and they purposely overhopped the beer to work as a preservative so they could ship it, excuse me, long distances and the beer still be good. That quote from the movie is all I'm thinking about now. The first state to ever have alcohol was Maine. Didn't the Pilgrims would have been here sooner if they hadn't stopped off and brewed up some beer. So wherever Plymouth Rock is, that's where the first alcohol was. Bad Frog was based out of Rose City, where I now live. Okay, I thought it was. Hey, Mohawk, I see Turbo Tommy's here too. Oh, no kidding. I thought it was out of Frankenmuth. Yeah, without hops, you don't have beer. And I love hops. Um, Hops are beautiful when they grow, and then you get the nice little hop cones themselves, and then you take them when they're because you got to pick them at the right time of the year. Take a couple hop cones and put them in your hands, and then rub them and get some of that sticky um, stuff on your hands and smells just like IPA. It's good. Oh, Michigan's Adventure. I've been there many times. I'm so old that Michigan's Adventure used to be Deer Park Funland. I used to go there when it was even Deer Park Funland. And right next door to Deer Park Funland is the Thunderbird Raceway. And I remember being a little kid, spending the whole day at Michigan's Adventure, and our family's just tired, whipped. We've been out in the sun all day. And then I start hearing those cars warming up and running around, and me just begging my parents to take me to the races. Can we go to the races? Please, 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 please. And of course, they're like, no, kid, we're going home. But there's race cars. I want to see the race cars. Yeah, I've been to Michigan's Adventure many times. I've been to Cedar Point a couple times too. Oh, Wiedemann beer was our choice as teenagers. Um, Basically, our beer of choice was whatever we could get our hands on. It was branded and created and headquartered here, but not manufactured here, but brewed and packaged in Frankenmuth and later in Evansville, Indiana. Aha. And probably Evansville, Indiana after the Frankenmuth brewery burned. Okay. Thanks, old Mac. Cedar Point's pretty cool. Kind of expensive, Braden, but pretty cool. Yep. Yep. Sandusky. There's a joke here. Somewhere frogs and hops. Ha ha. Well, Braden, I'll tell you what. If you the Mopar virus. I am guilty. I have been infected by the Mopar virus. Braden, we have a theme park aficionado here in our ranks. We have Turbo Tom. If he can tell you what the best amusement park is, he'll tell you straight up. I've been to Cedar Point about 30 times this year so far. Wow. Well, then again, that's kind of like your local, isn't it, Tom? Yeah. How far is Kings Island from you? Is Kings Island still around? Kid Rock beer was badass beer. I couldn't think of the name of it. Thanks, Gizmo. Try this again. Hello, everybody. Phones are fun with these bent up old fingers. Barrows, what's happening? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad to see you're still alive and kicking. Cedar Point is a waste for old Kev. He's a scaredy cat. Hell, if we wanna get old Kev a thrill, we'll just put a big block Chrysler on his wheelchair. I had a guy named Tom who was wheelchair bound when I was in high school, and I constantly dreamed as a kid of making a V8 wheelchair for him. I knew Kid Rock's beer was bad something. Old Mac. Someone that me and Lady Dougster used to talk to, he had to have that badass beer. He had to go get some of that badass beer because he was a badass. I thought that was pretty funny. Best parks in the world are in Queensland. Everybody knows that. Oh, well, someday I'll have to go over there. Driving past a Budweiser plant in Peoria, Illinois, you can smell the hops on certain days. Oh, I bet you can. My friend said that they went to Busch Gardens when he was a kid, and it's right next door to one of the breweries. And he said that all you smelled was them brewing beer. And he said that as a kid that didn't appreciate beer at that time, he goes, it was horrible. I bet you'd have a different attitude today. Dan the Man says, have to admit to y'all, I have had the Mopar virus since age 7. Helped my uncles work on their Mopars, did me in. Hook, line, and sinker. Pull, reel, and handle. First time I went for a ride. Yeah. 5 miles an hour is fast enough for me to get in trouble with. Tom. Kev. Kings Island. Tom says, Kings Island is about 2.5 hours from me and been there 4 times this year so far, and Carowinds and Six Flags Over Georgia and Dollywood this year. Jimmy Carter's brother made Billy beer. Yes, he did. Billy Carter and Willie Nelson have smoked some funky skunky green stuff on the roof of the White House together. Peanut beer. Barrow says, I have a Queensland double poly saddle. I like it a lot better than the Kimberleys. I know nothing about equestrian stuff. Lady Dougster used to have horses, so I'd help her with doing hay and stuff like that, and being working with our horses. Our horses' names were, we had Ernie, we had Vic, there were 2 geldings, and then we had Sugar, and Sugar was a paint horse, and she had a bald face, meaning the whole top of her head was white, and she had big blue eyes. She was a beautiful horse. I'm making Spanish rice with fried peppers and fried mushrooms. I'm coming to Face House for dinner. Kev says, Kings Island was my favorite as a kid. We loved those old antique cars. We drove around the track and spent all my time on that ride. I've never been to Indiana Beach, but John Cope from Cope Racing Transmissions has done some videos from Indiana Beach, and they have those antique cars that run on a track too. They're just models of antique cars, but yeah. Oh, Damien says the worst beer I've ever drank in my entire life was a Sweet Baby Jesus. It's a peanut butter and chocolate infused beer. I expected it to be delicious. It was horrible. I've had some peanut butter porters out there that have been out of this world. I've also had some peanut butter porters that were far from out of this world. First Responder Garage. We got 2 Damiens in here. We're doubled up on the Damiens, guys. Holy wow. What are we going to do with ourselves? Damien and Damien, welcome, welcome. Did the term hung like a horse become a measure because it took multiple hands to measure? Possibly. Worst beer I ever drank was any beer that wasn't a PBR. The double D's are here. That's right. It's going good, Damien. I picked myself up a Snap-on Taco Wagon toolbox or Taco Cart toolbox, the old Aviation Mechanics toolbox, and I've been working on that. And I've been uh, I bought a bunch of toolbox mat and lining all the drawers and getting everything ready. I'm going to start moving in real soon, so it's getting there real nice. She's a little, she's old, but she's missing a little paint, but hey, that's fine. Yeah, hit that like for me, would you please? I'd most appreciate it. Yeah, just been working on small projects around the house, cleaning up the yard past couple days. The straight line winds that we had just we got limbs down all over the place. And what's the shittiest tasting beer out there and why? I don't drink the beer, but I will enjoy a Guinness. Guinness is wonderful. I love Guinness. Yes, Guinness is good. Nothing is like a Guinness. Guinness is if you go to a pub that actually has Guinness on draft, and you start with a fresh keg, a the top of the keg will be smooth. Of Guinness will be smooth, and it'll get a little bitter as you get to the bottom of the keg, and it's pretty good. Yeah, yeah, I do, and I think the best way to enjoy a Guinness is on draft at the pub. Kelly's Island got 17 and a half inches of rain yesterday. That's nuts. Yeah, and then the other important thing is having a bartender at the pub that send Doug some donations. Don't send Doug donations. Doug does not need money. Doug's doing just fine financially. I don't need your money. Do not send Doug money. If you want to send me money, donate it to a good cause. Give it to charity. Give it to someone who needs it, not me. I don't need your money. Your friendship is enough. Killian's red, that's pretty good too. I really like the Leinenkugel's red too. That was just in 5 hours. No, no, I have my own shop truck fund. I don't want I don't want your money. Do not send me money. I don't want your money. If you want to send me money, give it to charity. Charity's my accountant. No, I'm serious though. Don't give me money. Do not give me money. Give it to someone who needs it. I don't need your money. This is not a charity. Mohawk says, I've been busy helping my nephew fix and drive his newish car. I barely had time to do those 30 shorts. Well, good for you. We have two Kims in here too? Yes. Send Damien money send first responder all the money that you're going to give me, give it to him for a trailer so he can go to No Name. Yeah. Go fund trailer. Yes. Yeah. All the money you want to give me, give to him so he can get a trailer. Yep. Damien deserves it. Oh, that's right. Kim. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Right. Right. We have some hot Kim on Kim action here. Damien on Damien, Kim on Kim. Holy crap. Still only one Doug. I'll do giveaways anyhow. I've been thinking about doing that. I got enough stuff around here. I might be doing giveaways, and that's no joke. I might be doing giveaways, and I don't need to buy stuff. I find neato stuff all the time. I've got neato stuff. So one-eyed cat needs a tow vehicle to get his road towed to the No Names. Kim on Kim, I'm game. Whoa. Speaking of cars, and my nephews, my friend Crazy Charlie turned us on to a 77 four-door Nova that all they selling everything in the garage. Whoa. Well, selling your tools. No, just kidding. Why are you selling everything in the garage, first responder? Getting old Kev all excited. Who needs parts? Ah, cool, Braden. Thanks. I guess Braden's going live after the Dougster's done. Downsizing, too much to do. Yeah, that's the one thing that I've kind of realized is it's so easy to pick up another project. Finding the project is the easy part. Seeing it through to the end, that's the difficult part. And so until I see one of my projects through to the end, I'm not buying anymore. Is it true what I heard about Rich 220? Well, it's looking that way, Turbo Tom. We'll say that that's probably 85% true. I think Rich 220 might have went to the Great Garage in the Sky, but we have no way of 100% verifying that, but he might have went to the Great Beyond. Buried in projects happens quickly. Dan, IT guy, is right. I have too many projects too. Yes, Gizmo, I know. It's so easy to do. So easy to do. Anybody looking for a 68, 69 satellite Roadrunner hood? Cool car. You're fine, Kev. Yep, Gearhead. That was, yeah. I miss Gearhead too. Hey, the good news though is Gearhead, he's driving hot rods in heaven right now. He's out cruising, beautiful sunset cruise in the baddest ass hot rod that you've ever seen. He's cruising right now amongst his old friends. They're headed out for supper at one of the best places to eat around. He's doing it up just like we wish we all could. Yep, he's driving hot rods in heaven, and we envy him. He went to Valhalla. We'll see him soon. Faith has hit the nail on the head. I have no projects. When I lost my house, I dropped them all. Well, hopefully that comes back for you, Dan the man. Tunnel ramps, blowers, 360s, tri-powers, 318s, quick change rear ends, 9.25 axles, tri-wide Dodge headers, turbos, 727s, 4x4s, 180 crossover headers. Ooh, 180-degree crossover headers. Ooh, those sound so good. Yeah. 9 1/4 axle. 9 1/4 out of a full-size Dodge truck. Right off into the sunset. Who would ever want to pray to Allah? What is Allah anyway? Allah is God. You know, in my theory, I don't care what name he is that you're praying to. I think all prayers go to the same person. Just saying. That's my own personal theory, not anyone else's. So he goes by many names. I think it's all falls on one set of ears. I pray to the gods of speed and racing. That's right. And then when we break speed parts, just like in the movie The World's Fastest Indian, we have offerings to the gods of speed. Yes. Gearhead is racing a 500 horsepower car only on Saturdays and Sundays. Guess who's drunk off his ass? Gangster? Just a guess. My big question, where did God come from? When you're God, you can come from anywhere. Guys, I'm going to hit the hay. Damien, good seeing you. Glad you come and hung out with us. And hopefully I can see you again soon. Have a good one. Can't wait to run into you at No Name. Good night. I can't talk religion. I'll make people mad or sad. Yeah, I think we need to get away from the religion side of things because that's just as bad as politics. And yeah, I think we'll steer away from the religion side of things, even though that way we can keep everyone happy because everyone's welcome here at the Wolverine Garage. I seen this beautiful Chevy pickup go past the other day. I think it was on the 4th. And the Chevy pickup was like a 61 or a 60 or a 61. And it was two-tone purple. It was like lavender on the top and it was plum on the bottom. Man, was that a beautiful truck. And a Hispanic dude all kicked back, just cruising in it. Yeah, I was like, nice truck, man. It was good. It was way good. Hi, Red Bull. Good to see you. Tiptoe through the tulips. Yes. Tiny Tim. There's an attractive man. Tiny Tim he married, I think, Miss Victoria. I forget her name, but he actually got married on The Tonight Show. We got storms fixing to roll through. I welcome them with open arms. Holy wow, Kev. How about the Brewers? The Brewers are better than the Cubs. Ah, that's right. Well, my Tigers had a terrible streak of injuries, and we lost for over a month straight. So we're doing not all that great. Hi, Ginger. We're not doing all that great, but we finally got healthy. We turned things around. We're doing better. We're not doing great, but we're doing better. But love my Tigers no matter what. Did you see that video where lightning hit fireworks? Holy crap. No, I didn't. Taylor Swift married a football player. Danster says, I fixed a refrigerator for the first time today. Put one of them 3-in-1 hard start gizmos in it, and it worked. Hot damn. It's my life's testament. Someday I will share it with y'all. Yeah, Taylor who? Taylor wires. Taylor makes great spark plug wires. I for my CBX motorcycle project, I have some nice Taylor wires for that. And some really badass coils for it too. I really went crazy on the speed parts for that bike. Yeah, Taylor spark plug wires. Yeah. James Taylor. There's a musician. Taylor Swift is not hot. I do not find Taylor Swift hot. Taylor is the name of my 2012 Avenger. Okay. Oh, look who's come to visit. When I get my apartment, I'm going to put a Cub light up sign for my grandpa because my grandpa loves the Cubs, and since he isn't here anymore, so I want something that reminds me of grandpa. I can get that. That's why yep, it's the catster. He wants down though, so limited time engagement. Say hi to everyone. All right, ready? Off you go, bud. Yep, Miles. Phil is my 2014 Avenger. So something that I always keep around in honor of my grandpa is Pepsi. Boom. Pepsi. Right there. Grandpa retired from Pepsi. He winked. He sure did. He's like, you know what's good, y'all. There will be absolutely no Cubs in my house. I'm a Cubs hater. They are my arch nemesis. Kev. Oh, yeah. Mark Sauvé is here. Greetings, Mark. Mark brings up our Canadian branch of the of our show. So things are good in the north now. If you're here in the National League Central, you'd understand why I don't like the Cubs. Well, no matter what, no matter where I live, no matter what, I'm going to be a hardcore Tigers fan always. Always Tigers. Because the same man who worked for Pepsi was a hardcore Tigers fan. So, yep, just keeping some things alive. I'll always be a Tigers fan. That's right, Braden. I like that. No bandwagon fans here. What should I do to celebrate Grandpa's birthday in January? Make a cake. Happy birthday, Grandpa. If you know what his favorite was, make that. Cubs fan and a Bud man. That's right, everybody. Hey! Check out the kid in the sombrero. Hey! All the Model Ts will be crossing the border to the north. That's right. A lady that my uncle used to date in the 80s, when I was just a little kid. My uncle's like 9 years older than me. His ex-girlfriend's dad was a Model T guy, and he liked fast Model Ts. And he had speed, he had them hopped up and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, that was pretty cool. Ginger says, I want to go back to the St. Louis ball field. Drove by there twice and never got a photo. Oh, okay. You mean Busch Stadium where the Cardinals play in St. Louis? My favorite ballpark is no longer around, and it's Tiger Stadium. They tore it down on the corner of Michigan and Trumbull, the corner in Corktown. 1968 Tigers won the World Series against the Cardinals. The Cardinals had won the year before, and they basically came together and made a pact in 67 that in 68 things are going to be different. Led by the great Al Kaline, Mr. Tiger. In 68, they pulled it off, and they went up against the great Cardinals, and they fell. Junior Johnson used to say, hey, Boyd, can you put a new motor in this washer? That was my grandma's favorite because I was born on her birthday. She passed 38 years ago on the 4th of July. Well, bye, Grandma. Why in the heck would you ruin brownies by putting weed crap in them? Yuck. Oh, Prince Fielder's dad is... Oh, I can't think of his name. It's... I can't think of his name. Yeah, he's part of the Bless You Boys. Yeah, the 80s Tigers. Oh, your granny married you? That's cool. Cecil Fielder. Thank you. Cecil Fielder. Yes. Yes. And then of that era, you can't talk about Alan Trammell without talking about Lou Whitaker, Sweet Lou. Alan Trammell and Lou Whitaker were like the best of friends. No, Cecil wasn't a jackass. The longest home run was out of the stadium. That's right. I know one of the most important ones was done by Alan Trammell, where he parked that son of a biscuit. I don't know of any of the steroid users other than the Barry Bonds and the who played for the Cubbies? Um it doesn't matter. Yeah. Oh, and the A-Rod. We have a flood warning in our area. Well, that's no good, Ginger. Better keep the canoe handy. Juicing. Yeah. Mark McGuire. That was the name. That was one of the names. And then Sammy Sosa was the other name besides A-Rod. Yeah, Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa were definitely on. There was a comedian who was like, Curb Gibson not out of the ballpark. Grand Slam was the ultimate of the park home run. Yes. Yes. Yes, old Max got it right. Always will love my Tigers. Always. It's a goddamn home run. All right, I'm going to grab myself something to drink. Please enjoy the license plates. Be right back. Oh. Mark Fidrich, the bird. Oh, Neverboard's here. Hey, Neverboard. Neverboard lives a little bit north of me. Someday he and I need to hang out. As close as he is, we need to hang out. I believe Alex Rodriguez, Roger Clemens, other Jose Canseco, yeah. Well, get a day, Doug. We'll get a day. I like that idea. Yeah, we'll have to hang out sometime. As close as you are, Neverboard. Yeah. Maybe we'll go over to like Northern Dragway or something. I've never been out there. I knew it would take a lot of convincing to get you on board with this idea, Neverboard. Yeah, Mark Fidrich. He was unashamed of being strange. Like he talked to a baseball on the field. Like on the mound, he would talk to a baseball. Like, yeah. I got the nickname of Mark Fidrich in high school because of my long curly hair at the time. Wow. You need to make this a staple for you this year and for this winter for you to get up to the I-500. I do want to check out the I-500, but it's usually in such an absolute butt crack time of year, and it's if when to get there, it's 5 hours of road time without bad weather. So, I mean, if that's clear and dry roads, it's still 5 hours of road time. I should do it just to say I did it. It's been over 20 years since I was last there. My dad, brother, and family friends all raced at Northern. No doubt. Very cool. I've never been there. I got the name dipshit in high school. Was indeed a dipshit. Oh, dirt track late model race. Well, there's Thunderbird Raceway over by like that racetrack I was telling you about next to Michigan's Adventure. That's a dirt track. I think it's dirt. Yeah, that's dirt. T-Bird Raceway, Thunderbird Raceway. Yeah, I like it on dirt. We've got dirt tracks around here over in Portland, Michigan, which is over by Ionia. We've got the I-96 Speedway, Crystal Speedway up north. Thunderbird shut down. Say it ain't so. That's too bad. Winston is 2 miles away. Nice. So there's still a dirt track alive. Good to know. Um, south of me, there is the Kalamazoo Speedway, the world's fastest 3/8 mile. That is asphalt. And then a little bit further southeast of me is Galesburg Speedway, the Berg. And I think that is a half mile. 6% is almost at the tip of the thumb. No, he's not almost at the tip of the thumb. 6% is like tip of the thumb would be like Caseville. He's closer to Flint than he is anywhere. There's passing. If you go to the Kalamazoo Speedway, If you go to the Kalamazoo Speedway, that 3/8 mile, they pass. They rip that donut at over 100 mile an hour with the late models. They rip that. What I miss? Everything, Kev. Now, if you bend your thumb down, okay. Okay. I'll buy that for $1, old Mac. I just like racing. To be honest with you, I like racing. If it's if you're going out and dicing it up, I'm all for it. From snowmobile grass drags to drag racing to circle track racing on asphalt or dirt or crap, I'd probably go down south and watch the swamp buggies run. I like racing. Well, then again, if you get the right guys racing, rubbin's racing, and that's just the way things are. That's not true. At Berlin Raceway, which is Berlin is a major track, and that's northwest of me, past Grand Rapids, and Johnny Benson, the NASCAR driver, Junior, not John Benson Senior, the IndyCar driver. That's his dad. Um, Johnny Benson used to race there, and then he finally went to go race ASA and then onward to NASCAR for a little while. And he came one night to race at Berlin Raceway, and he brought his car and he qualified at like 28th or 30th. Like he was almost last of the pack. And they called the race with 9 laps to go of a 30 lap feature, and yeah, 300 foot, that's fine by me. 300-foot racing, drag racing is just fine. And that's on the sand. Um, and Johnny Benson had moved up to like 7th or 8th place. So he started at like the back of the pack and then in 20 something laps moved up the field. Hey, 94%. We were just talking about your guy, Thunder Valley. Rubbing is, whoa. I like the Outlaw. I like watching the Outlaws race because those guys are just crazy. And there is one particular track where the track is square. It has 90-degree turns in it. And those guys, those outlaw guys are just crazy. They come just stack a speed into the corner, and right at the last second they kick the car sideways and they slide sideways through the corner, and then they catch traction and zoom out straight they go. It's amazing. Yeah, Bristol puts dirt out, and actually, Berlin Raceway, that track I was just talking about, they've put dirt out on that and made it dirt track. I've heard many NASCAR guys say, like Kyle Petty says, the best thing that you could do with Bristol is dose it in, make it a pond, and stock it with fish. Bristol, no aerodynamics don't matter at Bristol. Bought 2 motorcycles and 2 trucks today. Holy wow. That's a lot of motorcycles and trucks. I've never been to a NASCAR race. I'd like to go someday. Popping off my shoes. There we go. Went to the Brickyard 400 in 1998. Nice. Have you ever been to Tri-City Dragway in Saginaw Bay City? No, I haven't. I haven't done any racetracks on the east side of the state. Two doctors today. I'm bushed. Holy wah. What were those doctors doing to you, Kev? My other channel would blow up with Spencer Massey helping Maddie Gordon a couple weekends ago. I thought so too. Oh, 6% recycled's here. He says we bought two Honda 70s, 340 road bikes, an 89 standard cab short bed Chevy, and a Yukon two-door with 5 crates of parts. It was an adventure. Two-door Yukons are actually nice. What about Mid-Michigan or Stanton? Well, Mid-Michigan and Stanton is all in one. Mid-Michigan is Stanton, which is Old Central Dragway. I've been there. Yeah, Old Central Dragway. I've been to Martin Dragway, and I've been to Mid-Michigan. The only thing I don't like about Mid-Michigan is you race to the west. You race into the sun, which has got to be dangerous as frig. That's horrible. I hate it when you can't sleep. Or where you just wound up. Is that why you didn't sleep last night? Never talk. Pain keeps you up all night. Not cool. I'm sorry about that, Kev. A couple of 340s. Are you mean 360s? Don't you mean 70s Honda 360s? They're probably 360s. Said, I hear a duck somewhere. I wonder where that duck was there, Braden. Martin was where I got hooked up with the Northern Nationals, where they were the early 80s SSAA, double SSAA gassers, CUDA and darts. Still hold most records. Yeah. "8:19 p.m. Do you know where your hot rod is?" Yes, I do. It's in my driveway. CA paydays floating. When you get hooked back on Ford, let's have an intervention. Good to see Tom here, as always. Tom had a really cool video the other day, which you should check out. He's got a guitar amp that he's been refurbishing, and he was cleaning it all out and dusting it all off and fixing the cord and, stuff like that. And he found some tickets ticket stubs from the mid 80s inside. One for Van Halen and one for Huey Lewis and the News. I'm mucho jealous. That's right. 6% actually got to see Shop Truck. It is not a myth, it is real. What's part it sounds like a duck. Don McCollum was the first in the eights in the SSAA in 69 CUDA, a Canadian, but the next round, Bucky Hess ran quicker and was given the title. Yeah. Could have done the ABCs. Holy wah. Oh, no problem. Secret Junkyard is always fun to go to. That's a neat place. Yeah, I was impressed when I took 6% and 94% out to my favorite drive-in, because when we would go when 6% 94% lived at the old house, we'd go to a drive-in nearby and called Eddie's. And I thought that was a pretty okay place. And they were telling me how much better my drive-in here by me was than theirs. Yeah, it was one of those things. They followed me from the top secret junkyard back to my place. And I'm driving through this area that I've been driving through my entire life. So it's like, oh yeah, there's this and there's that. And I'm like, wait a minute, they've never seen this and they never seen that. So I took them to a park and I showed them a covered bridge, and 94% had to pee like the day is long. I was hoping we would find a bathroom for her there, but I showed them the covered bridge, and then I took them to downtown Allegan and showed them the river and everything like that. They enjoyed themselves, and I'm glad. And then plus we had a great lunch. Yeah, I'll definitely do an A&W drive when I love root beer. Dougster's a root beer guy. That's right. Told him to put it on his bill. That's right. Nice. Go shoot hoops for Grandpa's birthday then. Do you like root beer with ginseng? No, I like root beer without ginseng. I like the other 94% name. It fits. No, I like root beer without the ginseng, but I do love good root beer. And the um, the drive-in that I took them to, they make their own root beer. Ever gonna try Everclear? I've already drank Everclear. That's nasty crap. Actually, nowadays, other than the other day, I had a few beers, but actually, I'm more like add the root. Oh yeah, good root beer too. Yeah, the that drive-in that I took them to called Corky's. They make their own root beer. It's not really that fizzy, but man, is it good. 94% liked it. She had some. Know what you get when you breed a Kenworth with a test tube? Not Peterbilt. Well, you know what you get when you cross a Peterbilt, a Kenworth, and a Freightliner. Well, Freightliners used to be called freight shakers, so you put them all together and you get yourself a Peter worth shaking. I like birch beer. That's good stuff too. Tanya Rodham Bobbitt. fire brewed root beer. I've had the Sprecher root beer before. There's a little bar, little itty bitty bar. It's like a broom closet bar, but they have great food and they have Sprecher root beer on draft, and it's good. My last 15 years, I've been selling truck parts, and I never heard that one. Oh, yeah. That's my favorite Dan IT guy. Um, Dan IT guy, I bring a whole cooler full of Fago down to No Name, right? Oh yeah, I give away. Oh yeah, I bring Red Pop. I bring all my favorite flavors because anything that I'm stuck with afterwards I have to drink. So I only bring my favorite flavors. So what does it taste like? It's a cream cola. So red or Rock and Rye is like, have you ever had Big Red Soda? Because that's a cream cola also. If you had Big Red Soda, that's what uh Rock and Rye tastes like. Red Pop is strawberry soda. Where's Verner's made nowadays? Cream soda or get out of town. I'm a cream soda. I like cream soda too. Verner's, I think, is still made in Michigan. Blue cream soda. I've never had the blue cream soda. So yeah, whenever I go to No Name, I bring root beer, I bring Rock and Rye, orange, cream soda. I don't bring cola because I do not care for regular Fago cola. Um, what else have I brought? Do I bring? I bring only the flavors that I will drink because otherwise, if I get stuck with it. What about Dr. Pepper? I love Dr. Pepper. Yeah, Dr. Pepper's awesome. Yeah, Dr. Pepper's good. Don't care for Mr. Pibb, though. Rather have a Dr. Pepper. In a pinch. RC Cola is good. My grandpa, before he worked for Pepsi, he worked for Knee High, making pop there. And then he left Knee High to go work Pepsi because Pepsi paid a nickel more an hour. Pibb Extra. That's what Mr. Pibb is. And I don't care for Mr. Pibb. I'll take a Dr. Thunder over a Pibb any day. Yeah. Verner's is based out of Holland, Michigan. Is that near you? That's Holland, Michigan is about 30 minutes straight west of me. So yeah, right out on the lakeshore. Radar worked for Knee High. Yeah, Grandpa said in the 40s when he left Knee High to go work Pepsi, they were paying a nickel more an hour, and he'd bang the table. I couldn't turn down that kind of money, he'd say. I'm taking a bath while watching you? Dude, that's gross. I don't want to know about that. Ew. I'm sure everyone's just thrilled to know that too. Grape Knee High was whose favorite drink? Radar O'Reilly, of course. Once one of my favorite jokes made by Hawkeye to Radar is Radar's depressed and he's at the bar and he's got a grape Knee High in front of him. And Hawkeye walks up to him and says, "Ah, I see you're into the touch of the grape." Mom would always get Tab, and as kids wouldn't drink it, Mom was smart. Yeah, Tab is gross. Ugh, yuck. It tasted medicinal. I've had cheer. 6% gave me a cheer wine once, and it really wasn't that bad. Well, you didn't have to tell me that you're in the tub. Fresca was the worst. Other than it being a Coca-Cola product, I kind of like Fresca, but I'd rather have Squirt. Got to clean up because I'm doing a live stream tonight. Mom always said she didn't raise no dumbasses until I got to high school. Yeah, I don't drink very many Coca-Cola products, just cause. Which is kind of funny because at last No Name Nationals, John Wilburn, whose grandpa worked for Coke, like my grandpa worked for Pepsi, and I was just trying to be personable, and I offered Wilburn a Diet Pepsi, and he didn't accept and he didn't deny it, but he didn't take it from me either. Oh, right. It makes you dizzy because you're mad. It's because it's grapefruit. Yes, yes, yes. Yep. I pretty much stopped drinking soda altogether, been on a diet, and lost 25 pounds so far. Go, Tom. Nice. Good for you. Diet Pepsi is the devil. Well, it's one of the very few vices I have anymore, so okay. Joliet, Joliet, not Juliet, Joliet, Joliet, Joliet. Ooh, Diet 7 Up is actually pretty good. Yeah. 7 Up used to have lithium in it. Original 7 Up had lithium in it. And if you drink a beverage that has lithium in it, it gives you a euphoric feeling. So it makes you want to drink more because it makes you feel good. And well, also another side effect from lithium is it makes you thirsty. So you'll drink more 7 Up. Funny how that works. Old Dr. Pepper logos have numbers on the Dr. Pepper circle logo, and it's like 10, like 9, 11, and 3 or something like that. And those were the times that, because they were promoting Dr. Pepper as like an energy drink, and those were supposed to be the times of the day that you're supposed to drink a Dr. Pepper to keep your energy levels peak. Also, the sodium makes you thirsty too. Yes. And also, with lithium, you might burst into flames. Some famous people were imprisoned in Joliet. I've been in Joliet prison now twice, 2 years in a row. That place is cool. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Stroh's Bohemian came back to Michigan. Yeah, Stroh's beer. Stroh's used to be the fire brewed beer. I fell over the one swig of squirt. Holy crap. Back when I used to like mixing cocktails, I would do squirt and whiskey and squirt. Good cocktail. I copied an old 7-Up logo for the racing number hand lettered on the Chambler door. Yes, I love that. Chambler is a cool car. Sits tough. And the back seat is very small. And believe it or not, the Dougster can ride in the Chambler. Barely. Stroh's beer is a beer all its own. Nothing is quite like a Stroh's. Mellow Yellow is nasty crap. Mellow Yellow is what people drink when there isn't Mountain Dew to drink. If I threw a huge party and I had Mountain Dew and Mellow Yellow, everyone and their brother would drink the Mountain Dew until it's gone, and only once there's no longer any Mountain Dew, then they'll drink Mellow Yellow. And if I bring out more Mountain Dew, they'll leave the Mellow Yellow behind. Dad used to be sponsored by Mellow Yellow when he used to drag snowmobile. It was, and I was racing snowmobiles. Hot rods ain't made for comfort. That's right. It has lots of rear seating area, just a child-sized seat. This is a fact. I had all the leg room in 3/4, but the seat's real short for some reason. Yeah, Mellow Yellow. Nobody drinks Mellow Yellow. I only know, of all the years that I've walked this earth, I only know one guy who's a hardcore Mellow Yellow guy. I drink Mellow Yellow if they paid me to race. Hate when people park on the dang sidewalk. You guys should. Guess, you guys would be sponsored probably by Mellow Yellow if you guys drag race. Nope. I'll hold out for PepsiCo. Beats pooping on the sidewalk? Yeah. What are the odds that a Zender and a Bronner would both pass away in the same week? Wow. A Zender and a Bronner passed away in the same week? That's nuts. Those are two famous families from Frankenmuth that we were talking about them earlier. Yeah, Bronner's is the Christmas store, and Zender's is one of the big families in in there. They're famous for their family style chicken dinners. Go to Zender's and you sit down and they bring you a big old plate of chicken, a big old plate of mashed potatoes, and you sit down to a meal and it's past the potatoes, past the chicken. And they're famous for their fried chicken dinners. Ah, Mexican Spec is here. Have no fear, your Mexican connection is here. Hi, Mex. Good to see you. Potatoes stop here. Lady Dougster made meatloaf, and we had some potatoes too. Mmm. Maybe when the weather turns cold again, we'll have Lady Dougster make her potato soup. That's good stuff. Neverboard, take care, my guy. Good seeing you. Thanks for stopping in. Mrs. Speck makes potato soup. It's good stuff. It really is. I make really good loaded potato soup. What about beef stew? I make a pretty good beef stew. National Seth Week, don't let your meat loaf. That's right. 94% said she's coming for potato soup. Nice. Do I put rivels in your tater soup? I don't know what rivels are. I'm eating vegetable beef soup poured over some kettle cooked chips in the bowl. Yum, that sounds good. I like the kettle cooked chips, good and crunchy. Yeah. Meatloaf is good. Bat out of hell. Yeah. Like little dumplings for tater soup. Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Yes. Yes. Like Polish dumplings. Yes. Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yes. My friend's Busha would make that stuff. 2 out of 3 ain't good either. No, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Pierogies. Yes. Pierogies and glumpkies and oh yeah, all the traditional Polish stuff. Kupaska, kupaska. It's just sauerkraut. Good homemade kielbasa. Mmm. Okay, 6%. Uh, Good to hear from you. And yeah, send me pics when you can. Take care. Brumskis. Ooh. Chicken empanada. That's Mexican, but that's still pretty good. Stop right there. I got to know right now. You going to love me forever? My buddy's Busha was the best cook. Yes. Busha Echek was the best cook. She was a widow. Grandpa Echek had passed away in like 1974 or something like that. And she did all of the chores and everything around the house. She was self-sufficient for so long, and then her age got to her and she couldn't do it anymore. And she one day we go over to help Busha, and we go and we just doing odds and ends, and we just divided and conquered at the house. And when we were all done work and she comes over, or actually done for the day, because we were going to come back the next day and no, the next Saturday and continue to work. Well, at the end of the day, she comes out with a stack of money and she's handing each of us $50. And you work, you get paid. And um, the grandson goes and he goes, don't take her money, and he takes all the money back, and he goes, don't, she's on, she doesn't have a lot of money. So he hands it back, the money back to her. She turns right around and hands it all back out, and then he takes it back and hands it to her, and then now she's handing it out again, and we're like, no, Busha, we don't want your money. And she was mad. She's like, you take the money. And we're like, no, Busha, we love you. We want to help you. No, you work, you get paid. And none of us accepted money from her. She was mad. She was upset. And so next Saturday, we came back to finish up there, and she's sitting on the porch like this, arms crossed like this. And we finish, and then she says, "Boys, come here." Yabusha, she says, "You no take my money, I feed you. In-house now." And she made us a feast. And there's probably 9 or 10 of us sitting around the table. And I mean, she didn't ask us if you wanted more. She looked at our plate and then she took the pot of food and gave us more. And I mean, we ate like kings. And we're full. And she goes, "Eat, eat, eat. I throw it all away. I make too much food." And we're like, "No, Busha." She goes, "You're full? You can't eat no more? I have coffee. I have cake. I have dessert. I have this." It's like, oh my God. She was a wonderful woman. I miss her greatly. I'll be back. Going to record some stuff. All right. Tom's laying it down. Dambuzia. Kiss me. I'm Polish. I'm not Polish. I'm half German and I'm half French. Feed you to death. Oh, it was so good. Oh, yeah. Busha was a wonderful lady. I miss her very much. We were at the Polish Days at the town that she lives in. They're known for their Polish community, and they have a very big Polish Days. And she's sitting in the chair, and the polka bands are playing, and she's dancing in her chair without, sitting. And she's clapping along to the music. And I run over and I grab her by the hand. I go, "Come on, Busha, let's dance." She's got a ear to ear grin on her face. She's like, "No, no, no." But her face said, "Yes, yes, yes." Took her out and we're dancing. And she goes, "I now remember why I don't like the polka." And I'm like, "Why is that, Busha?" She goes, "It makes my boobs bounce." She was such a funny lady. No, no is grandpa. No, na is grandma. She's so Nona Testa is not still working in her garden. No, no is grandpa. Bouncing boobies are a good thing. Yes, this is true, but also on a lady in her late 80s, early 90s. Hey, whatever. Some old guy probably got a charge out of it. Oh boy. Oh, she likes being called no no. Okay. I understand now. Mohawk says 3 guys trying to get in the Olympics. Guard asked, "What sport do you do?" They thought for a minute and said, "Hold on, we'll be back." The first guy sees a picket fence, pulls out a picket, and runs up and says, "What does he say?" I'm going to die of suspense now. What does he say? No, no, maybe K. Cliffhanger. That's right. We gotta know. Hi, Wendy. Good to see you. Oh yeah, Polish days in that town are just off the hook. Well, actually, the Polish days in Grand Rapids, where there's a large Polish community too, is a damn good time. Polka bands, rolling dance floors, traditional food, and beers, beers, beers. Good time. Insert Jeopardy theme here. Please don't drop off like that. Yeah. You know, I often think of Gearhead. You know, at that time, he loved us so much that he wanted to spend his last few minutes on this earth with us. And I think that's pretty honorable. He thought that highly of us. So he was surrounded by people who loved him. So his sisters and us. So I think that's pretty nice. Nah, I don't feel sad for Gearhead. I envy him. He's driving hot rods in heaven. Yeah, I was sweating my tail off earlier. I was working on me and Lady Dougster hung out in the shop together. Lady Dougster's on vacation for a few extra days after the holiday, and we hung out in the shop together. And she just sat around her and the Dogster. Oh, we're back. France fencing guard says, "Come on in." Second guy sees a big concrete ball on the gate post, breaks it off, runs to the guard, says, "Germany shot put." Guard says, "Okay." Third guy sees a sheet hanging on the line. Lost a lot of friends on you lately. Hope I get to drive hot rods in heaven. Should. Play your cards right. You'll be there driving hot rods in heaven right with Gearhead and the rest of us. My buddy Jeff has throat cancer. He's not around much anymore. I'm sorry to hear about your friend Jeff. Hey, whatever you want to do, whatever's good for you, that's what you get to do up there. Yeah. That's your reward. He runs his guard stuffing the sheet down his shirt and says Poland parachuter. uh, my luck, I'll be pushing forwards in heaven. I hope not. Hopefully your Fords will at least run, because you'll have a Model T, right? We nicknamed him Jeff Fafa after Jeff Dunham's puppets. Ah, oh Jeff Fafa, oh Jeff Fafa, you really, really suck. Jeff Dunham, not your friend Jeff Fafa. I don't think you. Why would you want to? You wouldn't be fighting with your enemies there. You're there for a good time. There's no need to fight up there. Other places are for fighting. Over the weekend, my friend dropped like over $3,000 on fireworks, and he had a whole bunch of fireworks that had the big green army men with the parachutes. And I mean, each of the army guys were probably 4 or 5 inches tall. The parachute itself was pretty huge. Those were the biggest I've seen in a long time. Yeah, he had quite the extravaganza for us. I guess to teach GIs how to parachute, they had a machine that actually tow you up in a parachute, take you out, and then drop you. you're still connected to a cable, but the parachute would open and you'd drift down slow. You've probably seen Jeff on our model chats. That reminds me of the parachute. We'll see my canine. I will see all my canine friends when we go to the pearly gates. All dogs go to Kevin. Chef's on A lives, but I have been too busy to get any to weekend lives. I ordered some more parts for the W2318. One of them was, which is a ram billet aluminum flywheel. I bet that wasn't cheap. I shot a couple of screaming pig rockets over the weekend. It was fun. Nice. I ain't jumping out of no perfectly good airplane. Can't wait to see my first dog do best dog ever. Is Popeye on olive oil still around? Won't it be wonderful, though? They won't swamp you, but it'll be so wonderful to see them all. Yeah. Especially some of my favorites from my childhood, like my grandma's dog, Teddy. I miss him. My dog, Maggie. I miss her. I miss all my pets. But that's the wonderful thing, is to see them all again. I've already done the Michigan mud holes, Braden. Mud and 4x off-road is expensive. Watch some mega trucks. I should go to one of the mud runs and record that for that'd be fun. Told Jeff he was the big mouth on Saturday nights and got Fuel's show. Had a pack of 5 or 6 dogs that rotated. There's been a lot of them, and I'm not even counting the cats. Funny guy. Yeah, I had me and Lady Dougster had our dog Wrangler, and he was one of the best dogs we ever had, and I miss him. I miss my cat. Well, my one cat passed on. He was just a kitten. He was only like 6-7 months old, and his heart stopped on the operating table. So that was still a hard one. My cat Tyson, I had him for like 17 years, so it was still unfortunate when I lost him, but at least I had him for a good long time. And then my tuxedo cat Jackson, I had him a long time. So yeah, that's just to name a few. My other red heeler I had, his name was Patch, and Patch was he had a rough life. We adopted him. He had a very rough life before we adopted him, and he ended up having cancer and passed away at a young age. But at least for the short while that we had him, he was in a house that loved him and supported him, and he had it made. Chocolate Labs are nice dogs. My friends had a dog named Hershey that was a chocolate lab, and she was awesome. Is that a double deck? No, it's a single. It's a single. It says old school across the bottom. Nope, it's just a single. Man, some of those boom boxes from the 80s are worth some bucks now. Mountain Dew's the best. That's why. Wow, Jeff has been giving his models away, preparing for what is next. I would be afraid to be doing the same thing just to try to help, reduce my estate. The other one has no kick left. Ha! It's all good, Kev. That's why we're all here, is to prop each other up. Sometimes we talk about happy stuff, sometimes we talk about sad stuff. But you know what? That's why we're all here, to listen to each other, because we're friends, and that's what friends do. Over in my snake infested shed. Oh, wow. The moon Nazis? No, I never heard of that. Yeah. My the sad thing of all is our dog Patch. He had cancer, and he went from a rambunctious dog. He loved the ball. His life was all about the ball, and no reptiles. I'm not a reptile guy. And one day, all of a sudden, he's just runs out of steam. He used to run and play ball nonstop, 24/7. And all of a sudden, one day, he had no steam. And he still wanted to run and play with the ball, but just he had no steam. And we're like, something's wrong. He was acting weird. And Lady Dougster took him to the vet. And that's when we got the news. And Lady Dougster come back to the house. She was like 45 minutes away. And she got the news that he wasn't doing good and he didn't have long. And Lady Dougster, bless her heart, she took the dog and brought him back to me. So she drove an hour and a half back and forth, and just so I could say goodbye to Patch. And then she brought him back up there, and then they put him down. That wasn't a great day, but yeah, those things happen. But I still really thank Lady Dougster for doing that for me, because at least I had a chance to say goodbye. She thought of me, and yeah. I miss him. He had such a rough life. He had such a rough life. He freaked out. He was People were terrible to him before us. I mean, I would just be goofing around and come in the door and holler about something, just messing around, and that dog would freeze up. He'd lay down and he'd freeze, and he was so scared, and I didn't even do anything. He would just freak out. His anxiety level when he first came to us, I am dead serious. He was stressed out, anxiety for like 7 to 10 days. He just paced and paced and paced and paced and paced the house. It took him forever to get used to us. He was so scared. And once he finally got used to us, things got a lot better. Yep, Sassy was so kind. My dog Wrangler was so kind. Uh, we tried. We always made the joke that he's got it made. He just doesn't realize it yet. Can't believe anyone would be that mean to a precious dog. I think that we don't know, but we think that maybe Patch was some old person's dog, and then the old person might have passed on, and then he just kind of got passed around from there, and no one really cared about him. At least that was the story that we got. And yeah, he was messed up. He was way messed up. We were worried about him. messed up, and he finally come around. Uh, he uh, he was so happy when I would come home from work. We used to live in an apartment, an upstairs apartment, and where I'd park my truck in the summertime, we'd have the window open that faced the parking lot. And he knew the sound of my truck parking, and he would bark at the windows, and it was a happy bark. And I'd walk in the door, and he'd go, "Arr-hoo," and come bolting across the house to see me. Yeah, he was a great dog. When my Maine Coon passed away, I took it really hard. I had to be put on blood pressure meds, and still on them for over a year now. Yeah. Um, it was really hard during the pandemic when we lost Tyson. Tyson had a tooth that was chipped. When he had fangs. He was an all black long hair cat, and he had little fangs. Well, years before, somehow he had chipped one of his teeth, and that tooth had gotten bad, and then it went up into his head and all sorts of stuff. And it was too late. By the time we realized what was happening, we tried to get him surgery to rectify the problem, and it was too late. And so we just brought him home and made the guy as comfortable as we could, and enjoyed him every day we could. And then he went on too. Amen. I'm proud to say I do not have blood pressure problems anymore. I used to have very high blood pressure before I was on my sleep apnea machine. And I've been on sleep apnea therapy for quite some time, probably almost 10 years now. And one of the best things I ever did, today, my blood pressure is normal. As a matter of fact, at my last physical, my doctor said that the only thing that I've got wrong is that I'm overweight. My sugar's good, my blood pressure's good, my cholesterol's good, everything is good. The only thing is that I need to lose some weight. So thank God for that, right? I choose the house I'm in because it's on a private street. I did that so the cats can go out with no danger. See, we've got enough predators and stuff around here, and we live right next to a big old woods. Plus, there's a power line trail really close to this house, and there's a lot of traffic on it. And other than I don't want my cats going in and out, so I like to keep my cats indoors for their safety. That is scary, Kev. Yeah, low blood pressure. I've heard some people with that. It's always run low, so has my heartbeat. That's crazy. Out of all the animals we had, she was the only one who I ever had cremated. She was so special to me. Yeah, I've had a couple of my animals cremated. We may have an iguana in a tree, but there isn't any other predators around here. Mine is high. Well, mine used to be high. Mine used to be bad. And my old doctor, before my doctor retired, and I got a new young doctor. But my old doctor, he's like, we're gonna get you on sleep apnea therapy, and he goes, I guarantee you, your blood pressure is gonna go down. Mine did. And he was right. My blood pressure came down, and when he realized that he was right, I'm serious, he just about danced an Irish jig around the around his office. He was so happy. He goes, I told you, I told you, I told you. Saw a medium-sized iguana in a tree looking at me. That's the tree in the backyard. He didn't make a move. My A1C was 5.1 today. I don't remember what my A1C is when they texted it, but it was good. Oh, new guy's guitar's back. He laid it down, made the tracks, man. Good. Hopefully it's rocking, my guy. I've watched large birds circling over. Our Lily is sleeping in the yard. I have to keep a close eye on her when she's outside. Well, Lily's actually, what, a 40-pound dog, so I hope there isn't a bird big enough to run off with her. Holy crap. That's a big bird. 5.1 is great. Yeah, it is. I think you're right. No, it's quarter after. So quarter after 10 here in Michigan. I think I'm going to call it an evening. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me, everyone. Good conversation as always. Always good times with great people. Let's be like the Beach Boys. Let's get together and do it again. Be here next week. Same Dougster time, same Dougster channel. Bye, everyone.